is government if words have no meaning? People, I was gonna let these videos go to just promote them, and I was trying to get this going on with Mayor Kate Gallego to expose organized crime in Arizona and the police forces and around the country, and your hospitaling, your pills. You may be paying 90% to organized crime in your operations, your pills. I've got plenty of evidence of that. But I was not going to do a video till I came across this. So I'll do put on a black jacket and talk about serial killers. Or excuse me, mass murderers today. I don't know what the difference is. I drank some coffee to make my teeth brown a little bit. I'm standing up. One of the videos I fell asleep and fell down and banged my head on some junk. That is not my style of video. I want to do something more like Sam Kinison, except Gary York. Let's liven up a little bit and throw away the stool. That's a good start. I want to promote the Your Girl a little bit more. I put a black calculator in here to show that I'm not, demonstrate that I'm not prejudiced. I've been running for president since the 90s, so vote for me because I really want to be president. And the pop-top programmable woman. And I got the only thing I can find that's blue so far. I want to put a pump in the thing, build the framework, the skeleton out of wood, and have hydraulic to move it and a computer to move the hydraulics. I'm getting there on that, so I want y'all to remember that. Ladies, we're going to have something to help you, show you how to be a woman. And I want to stay focused on mass murders. God, Bush Jr., Abraham Lincoln, Hitler's gang. I had already mentioned the try not to be at home with a bland and unfulfilling German woman. They would rather try not to, just doesn't work. They were willing to go out and freeze and starve at the edge of Siberia because the failure of women, the BTK killer. The man was a deacon in the church over masturbating in some stranger's bedroom with the mother and children suffocating under plastic bags. That man needed some life to his love life at home. But he was allowed on TV. That's where I got that information from. Jared Loughner, I didn't see anything about him. I got a little bit. I happened to run across it, and I didn't intend to. I was looking up Gabriel Gifford to find out what the problem was. Maybe I was intending to look at him. Yeah, I guess so. What was his complaint? Well, I wrote down 4 of them so that I look more authoritative here reading it. Government, Christianity, abortion, endless money being printed up by the government. The difference is, Jared Loughner and I was amazed at what the government did to him because it was identical to me. The signatures that they got on a plea bargain was highly illegal from beginning to end. They are not legal. And government, Christianity, abortion, endless money. Gee, I've been complaining about this The difference between me and Jared Loughner, he was 20, I'm 58. I've been victim of organized crime 58 years. I have information, that's why I'm doing videos. He did the only thing he could. He was either going to do nothing, which is the try not to for the rest of his life. He did the only thing he could. Similar to a man being murdered by the police. He was asleep in the drive-thru. They told us the story on the news. So the police came up, not an employee, to wake him up and say, hey, can you pull over here and sleep for a while and then get back in the drive-thru? No, they called a murderer from the police. And when you're woke up into conflict, no, you're not awake. And you're not awake until that conflict is over, even if it lasts an hour. So anyway, fight or flight. He had no option of fight because of zero tolerance assault law. So he tried to run from the murderer. This guy knew what he was doing. He had a murderer in front of him. And they show the police casually firing 2 shots. Apparently 2 shots in the back of the head was what the mob was signature for. The police, maybe 2 shots in the back. I don't know. But I had one other video, and the officer posing for the camera, making sure that the camera's watching, and as he's casually firing 2 shots into somebody. That's where I got that from. But anyway, mass murders, serial killers, what they did to Jared Loughner was identical as what they did to me. And so I'm going to tell you some of the tricks. First of all, I think it was the New York Times or something. I don't read those magazines. And so I'm going to try and recall what I read on the computer. That's all the information I got 2 days ago read on a computer. So I'll convey it to you. They showed a mugshot. Jared Loughner. Clearly, you push one button on a computer, you got your digital. You can do all kinds of funny things to a face. Well, one eye you could see, one eye you could not see. Apparently they were trying to connotate that he was so evil that you could not even see one of his eyes, and that is a photoshopped picture. They did not have to do that. The smile on his face was the same thing they told me to do. Now, I was 52, he was something like 20, I'm not sure exactly what. But, so he smiled for the camera. It wasn't about whether he had killed 9 people, it was about the owners of his body told him to smile. They gave him a command and he did it. And I think the words were, this was the photo of the day, which is a connotation, because pictures tell 1,000 lies. And they took 700 pictures inside of my home. The similarity of Jared Loughner and Gary York, we both have complaints about government, and these 4 say it all. But Jared Loughner didn't know the answer. Real psychology is the answer. This is what I was doing when I was a small child. And then I had to learn what you were doing. You're all stupid fools times 8 billion. And that might sound a little disregardable. It's not. You need to regard that. And you're going to be better off. You men are such a bunch of damn pussies that you never even venture to how to spell the word cunt. this is the right one. I put it in quotation because we're getting rid of the C and we're going to put the T with a period over it. That's the think symbol. And oh gee, well, you can still spell watermelon. Oh, now you're just arguing. Some of these, the audience here, I got a camera tuned so you can't hear the audience or God, but you can hear me. And the think symbol, you're going to be much better off. Let me read this again because this matters. What is a government if words have no meaning? He was on the right track with that. But he didn't have the answer. So, like I say, he did what he could. As far as dead bodies, there's dead bodies all over the place that people are killing. Police, military, you need to focus on the information. And that's what I'm here. I have 100% for all of you. And why was he not allowed to give you information? He was hidden away identical to me. I was not allowed to trial. They refused it. Even though our constitutional right says you have the right to a trial by your peers or something like that, there are no peers. It's all organized crime in Arizona. But 60 jury members, you're not going to get 12 that are honest. Probably nowhere in America, nowhere around the world, because you're under a state of hypnosis with law, atheisms, and religions are all a state of hypnosis. They're bafflement because they do not make sense. They told you religion, atheism, when in fact over here, law. That's the one you're living in. That's the real one. That's the one that matters. Your government had you over here. This one matters, law. This person is not that person. To create a law that this person flows fine in, this person is snagged up continuous. That is a bafflement, a confusion, and a law is something you would never come up with real psychology. Education, you look at your facts around you and you make your productive decision. Not destroy and feed in the carnage, which government is. As I said, when they're putting fish in your lake, they're not hurting you, they're not government at that point. I didn't say fish and game. This guy, according to the internet, while he was rounding up the ammunition, 2 Walmarts and then over to her, she disregarded him in 2007. I don't know when he, they know this woman was in town. They had differences. What organized crime did, according to the internet, and I'm the only one that would know this because I've been through the sequence of bragging. Like I said, it becomes a try not to try and keep the truth hidden. So your game and fish truck, according to what we got, accused Jared Loughner of running a red light. Don't know if he did. Likely no, he didn't. But that would be something to ask him. Maybe he did. They've accused me, and no, I didn't. But anyway, the fact that nobody charged him, no uniformed officer came to give him a run a red light ticket, tells me that the game and fish was probably lying. What they were doing was bragging that organized crime knew the whole time They were following Jared Loughner. You're against government, they're following you. I explained the license plate that the black men on the Paradise Valley police force had me get. It said 0891, which was August of 91 that I moved from Gila County back to Maricopa County, Joe Arpaio territory. And in jail, one of the prisoners had been talked to by the employees. Tell him Arpaio Sheriff. It said 0891 ASF, Arpaio Sheriff. So now I know that. And Joe Arpaio's been in my life. I can't go into detail or I start identifying people. So anyway, BSR1 hologram 3 times, and I had a sign about this big on the tailgate at the time. I had just begun putting signs telling about organized crime in the Phoenix area, and I eventually put signs on the camper shell because I had plenty to say. So they got me their inside joke. BSR1 stands for bullshitter number 1. For anybody that doesn't know, if you got no one next to you to ask, that's what it means, bullshitter number 1, which was an absolute lie, and it was a joke. I'm sure there were plenty of pussies from the Phoenix police force, Scottsdale, Paradise Valley. They've both been involved in my life, so I'll mention them. They chose it, they got it. Probably pulling up behind me on a Friday night with her girlfriend while I'm coming home from work, and oh, look, the inside joke here, aren't we cool? Well, yes, you aren't. You're pussies. Probably women officers doing the same thing with their boyfriend. Really looking cool? No, not reality. But it does show the jokesome disregard like Gabby Gifford probably did to Jared Loughner. He may very well have had a good question for her, and we might have heard, I think I did back then, babblesome, incoherent. That's the lies they tell when they don't want to regard somebody. And like I say, it was his only option. That is not my option. This is, because I am 58 years old. I know all of real psychology. I know all of game psychology, even which is what all the rest of you are. And you don't think that's possible, one man on the earth? Well, you think Jesus is possible and he was one man on the earth. So quit lying. You say, oh gee, 2007, a long time ago? Oh, 2021 years ago. A dead Jesus, that's a long time ago. So these days of lying, game psychology craps out one lie after another. Real psychology says, I want more information. You want to stop me from teaching, you tell me more information and I'll teach even more. That's what I have to say. And we need more than 2 views a month on these videos. I've been promoting them the best I could, and then I stumbled across this. Mark Kelly, Junior Senator of Arizona. So I wrote to him. I said, hey, this woman is disregarding me. Kate Gallego. I have important information to make it better, Phoenix area. 58 years, you know, put in a good word for me. Well, I got what I'm going to say is a computer kickback. They program into the computer, okay, here's 5 responses. The computer picks out which one is the most appropriate, sends it back. So the next day, very quickly, or whatever, very quickly, I got a response from Mark Kelly. Thank you for your input. I won't be responding to you now. And so I sent back, I think, the thumbs up. And that is more information for me. That's not less. Oh, gee, you can't move forward. That is more information. Because real psychology isn't a mouthful of lies. In other words, argue. Argue is the one that is wrong. Real psychology wants to know more information. Game psychology wants to be stupider every day. You turn on your TV, no matter how wicked that thing is, that's the one you're going with because it's the winner, it's the bigger one. And that TV is not collective as far as intelligence. It is not bigger than you as far as intelligence. You're still stupid, so is each individual, as you see on the TV. It is not right to interpret that TV as collective, as collectively bigger than you. No. Now, each individual is a stupid, lying fool. I've never seen any of them telling you the truth because they wouldn't be allowed on the TV. I saw one, a mouth moving like this. They had muted him. Apparently the mouth, I can't read lips, but I guess he was telling the truth. And that was the only one I've seen on TV. They put this one in a box. They put this one in a box. This guy just happened to be telling the truth, so you couldn't hear any words. And when you have this one in a box saying this lie, this one in a box saying this lie, abortion, not abortion, abortion, not abortion. Here were Jared Loughner's 4. I already told you the game and fish, that's a brag that organized crime knew. Essentially what he was going to do. They knew that he did not have information. He was not 58, he was around 20. He did not have information to do it in an intelligent manner. And so if the try not to doesn't work, it was pretty simple for your government psychologist in Arizona to know what he was heading for. I mean, he stops at 2 Walmarts to buy ammunition. Apparently he grew up with guns. Very different, yeah. So anyway, abortion. They said, oh, how evil and crazy he was. He said, strap the baby to a bomb and make a baby bomb out of it. Well, we're hearing by people holding their hands out, pay money, pay money. Oh, gee, the abortion, they put the baby on the shelf for 2 or 3 hours. It's not dead yet. It sits on the shelf and rots till it's dead. Every once in a while a nurse comes in and cradles the baby and comforts it a little and then puts it back on the shelf to allow it to continue dying. And I've heard this from people that are paying money to abortion or anti-abortion, whatever the hell it is. This is the answer to abortion. Try telling the truth, try figuring it out from the root of the problem, which is hypnosis. You're without your brains, you're a $12 computer, then you need to eat and poop, you're worth less than 0 because you don't have that human being element. And a machine, I want to build this to show you that a machine can fulfill you better than a real woman. Because a real woman is programmed to fail you. The fat and ugly and stupid and disgusting is beautiful campaign. Black is white, up is down, wrong is right. You got a real mess going on there, and none of it's looking good. You ever look at a pair of legs over here? Now that's a tough one. It's hard to find a good pair of legs. Maybe a face, we'll go with that. It's a little more realistic. Oh, you see a face over here. Well, but you'd like to have that hair that's over there. And you're looking around in the people, and you can build it with this. And that looks a little crude. Like I say, I'm going to be making the skeleton out of wood. And it'll take a while. And it's the thought and the learning of it that counts. And you're going to like it. But I need to hurry up on this. I don't want a long video. I want a little more excitement than sitting in a chair. Let's move up slow. I'll get out the booze bottle next time. Jared Loughner. Government, Christianity, abortion, endless money. Strap a baby to a bomb, make a baby bomb out of it. I'm going to elaborate a little further. Give mommy the detonator. They're on a better track than that. Organized crime, what I hear, is siphoning liquids out of the baby to put in syringes to launder money. I've heard of the $12,000 pill bottle. And this person complained that their blood was black. And they were not feeling well as they're holding their $12,000 pill bottle. And I'll go into more of that. I have so many stories that are very long. Baby parts, throw a baby part in there. There, a couple thousand more for the a worthless baby part thrown in the mix there. So anyway, yeah, abortion, you need to figure that out. Yeah, your body belongs to you, but that baby, does it belong to itself, or is it your possession? I don't know. I've gone far enough on that. Strapping a bomb to the baby was a very good alternative. Blow the damn thing up, do what you can to stop the thing suffering. So anyway, Jared Loughner, what he had to say wasn't so bad. His girlfriend said he was a sweet guy, and why she left him? Well, I have no girlfriends either, because I'm against government, Christianity, abortion, endless money. Yeah, Christianity. His name is by reading this as a history book, his name is rightfully Jesus Magdalene. His mother's name was Mary Magdalene. How do you now have Jesus Christ? Where did that come from? She was shacked up with some guy named Joe, which might have been the father, actually. I don't know what the guy's last name was, but I don't think it was Christ. God's name isn't Christ, it's God Almighty, or Jehovah, or whatever kind of trash you got going. What's this Seventh-day Adventist? Of course there's 7 days in a week. I looked up this stuff of the calendar, and it's all religion, isn't it? No, it's history, it's fact. Yeah, they call it religion. Well, what is it? Oh, Holy Bible, history book. Those are synonyms. Holy Bible is a lie, and that's what a synonym is for, is a vehicle to lie. History book is the true one. Lucifer was against God. You eliminate the God out of it because there isn't one, and you have left a government. Lucifer was against government, very similar to Jared Loughner. I'm against bad government, and that's all you got. They're hurting you, they're governing you, they're government. And it is very simple. As I say, an organized group that's doing good things for you, fine, and the word government should not be used for it because it is not accurate. The American language is just one continuous loop of lies, and then you start lying again. You want a straight shot forward, you move on what you've got, and I can give you 100%. Yeah, I got this, cross out the C, put up the T. And your girl, try not to, the also. Can you do both? Can you learn real psychology as your 100% game psychology? And some of the answer is very discouraging. I tried to read the Bible and I felt like vomiting after reading one sentence in Luke, and I mentioned this before. And that's what you're up against, trying to put real psychology on top of 100% game psychology. So I'm going to keep doing videos, keep teaching. I was going to stop at the number 20 video and promote them. I'm going to keep promoting these. But when I saw this about Jared Loughner, they put him in there, identical to me. You can't get out of jail. You can't have a trial. And me? No dead bodies laying around. No. I was an upstanding citizen of 52 years, owned 2 homes. I don't mean the bank owned them, I owned them. And you'll learn more about Chase Bank, American Family Insurance, American Crime Family Insurance. You never got that. Your government, Washington Mutual, wasn't quite so dishonest as Chase. So the government gave Washington Mutual to Chase. And along with my home mortgage. And I'm going to stick with Jared Loughner today and the similarities of what the government did to him. They allowed the BTK killer to talk. Oh, you got some shock jock drama there, whatever. When it comes to the truth, I don't remember Jared Loughner talking on the TV at all. And they didn't allow me to. There was a liveful article in the Arizona Republic. Of course, they bragged it to me. They bragged it to me out of Arkansas. And that's how extensive organized crime is. And I went to try and find it. No, I had Phoenix police trying to crash my car in a parking lot. And, oh gee, our shelves are empty at the main public library in Phoenix. No article that was written 3 years prior. No article from the Arizona Republic. So if anybody wants to scare up that article, go ahead. Everyone should know who I am, and that would have been in 2016. But Jared Loughner was not allowed to speak. And they lied the same lie they did to me. They had 2 people supposedly to decide whether he was capable of standing trial. I think he was. These items are real. They said paranoid schizophrenia. I don't think so. They were trying to do that to me. They said, why didn't you talk to him? They asked me, is anyone stalking you? I gave 1 first and last name. There were actually 2, and they're very easy to look up in Arizona. I gave the first and last name of 1. Immediately, that was it. This guy's crazy. She never looked up this guy, never asked him, never looked into it. because they had a predetermined agenda to lie and to get paid well for it, or very big. It's the same thing they did to Jared Loughner. These four are real. Paranoid schizophrenia, we're all being affected by this. He did not have paranoid schizophrenia. According to the evidence I got, no, he didn't. And as far as shooting 9 people, people shoot people all the time. The military, they get paid to. You get a paycheck from the government, it's endless money, and you shoot people. Your police posing for the camera for their murder. Apparently, clearly by the timing, it was to bring you to a Democrat vote, and apparently it worked. So there's your evidence, 100% of that. The timing of that clump of shock jock murder videos by the police. And then at that point you can rightfully label that as premeditated murder at that point. And because real psychology can go there. Game psychology has a what if that has no boundaries of truth or reality. Real psychology says, this is the direction I'm heading. You got better information that conflicts, show it to me. And so far you haven't. But Jared Loughner, yeah, the smile on the picture. They hung a cell phone over the counter and said smile. That's how they took a picture of me. They also did have a mugshot. There were 50 people in the room, maybe 100. And so this concept that, oh, he's smiling because he's a murderer. No, he's smiling because they told him to. They probably convinced him, hey, this may be the last picture that's ever taken of you in your lifetime. And risperidone. People, I hear them correcting, oh no, it's Respiridol. No, they wrote it correctly on the internet. Risperidone, D-O-N-E. And that's what they gave me, 3 milligrams, 3 milligrams morning, 3 milligrams night. Don't know anything about it. Had no idea it was affecting me. When you're, well, I won't bring that out. When you're drank half of that, you're very much affected. Probably vomiting, crawling around on the floor. You notice an effect. Risperidone, no notice. 3 years later, I notice it. Risperidone. They gave that to him to force him to sign a plea bargain, which is absolutely illegal. When I had lost 50 pounds in 3 weeks, I was stumbling around, hadn't slept in 3 weeks, stumbling around crying and apologizing to people that I didn't even know. That's what the drug does to you. And absolutely illegal, and they did that to Jared Loughner. They didn't want him going to trial and saying, hey, this woman didn't listen to me. And it's still going on today. Mayor Kate Gallego is refusing to listen to me. Well, I've got more patience. I'm 58 years old. I have all the answers to teach you while we're waiting for this crook to clean herself up and do her job. Because as soon as there was no response, I knew, yeah, that's her job. There was another Gallego in Arizona, I think District 7 representative, 9 representatives in Arizona. I never knew there were that many. I knew there were 2 senators, but Mark Kelly, and but anyway, there was another Gallego, it's a representative, so I sent him a note on his Facebook or whatever. Gee, is there a chance you're a relative? You know, sister, wife, I don't know. But can you put in a good word for me to Kate Gallego to do her job? I've got a better Phoenix to make. Expose organized crime and resolve it. No response. Well, that tells me that he's probably a relative. And so real psychology can do that. Yeah, he's a relative. I'll put 100% on it. And then when you give me better information, then I'll refigure and decide it from there. But this concept that I can't move forward because of the what if, yes I can, and yes you can, as you learn real psychology. There were other things they did to Jared Loughner. Okay, the 2 doctors that are deciding him, they asked a trick question to me. They said, well, why didn't you talk to this man and ask him questions? And I said I was glad for the information that I got, because when I did talk to him, he told me. And I had information over the years, all the way through. And just like a rape victim, you already know you've been raped. You don't need verification that you've been raped. You need other people to begin getting involved to resolve the sequence, because the event is already over. Not for me. It's still going on. The Phoenix police stole me out of my $300,000 home. That was already at the end of its mortgage. 15-year mortgage, already paid, because Chase had enough money in my savings and checking. Was $500 and something over what the rest of the mortgage was. But that wasn't the issue. Everything they did was illegal. And so there you have the Game and Fish bragging that that the police in Arizona knew that what Jared Loughner was up to beforehand, not after, before. And the so-called doctors, they do up to 3. If you need a tiebreaker, they're not quite sure. They only did 2 on Jared Loughner. They were sure. No, they weren't. They were lying. According to this, they were very much lying. Paranoid schizophrenia. They said he was taking marijuana. Well, who doesn't? Makes dumb people dumber. You're dumb anyway. You're stupid fools. Try not, that doesn't work. Easy enough. The second one, I got more profuse about it. I'm in a cement box with some ugly man in a cement box. I'd been in cement boxes 4 or 5 months. What are we going to talk about? He's saying nothing. So I got more profuse about this man. Check him out. Joe Arpaio's undercover agent that I explained a bit about in the last video, but he's still around, probably 10 years older than I am. Joe Arpaio's still alive. Go ask him. Tom Horn. But anyway, the second one, they said, oh, that was all he could talk about. Yeah, I got more profuse about it because they weren't listening. Well, Jared Loughner got more profuse about it. This is the notes I wrote on him. What are you going to do? Well, at 20 years old, he didn't know what he was up against. He just knew it was a problem. And he was being dealt the physical effects of it. His girlfriends were rejecting him, but he certainly had more girlfriends than I did. They mentioned this girl, this girl, this girl on the internet, but his ideas were different and probably a lot better. You still end up divorced and miserable either way. So moving forward to fix the root of the problem is a really good one. Abortion, I covered. The endless money, Christianity. He probably didn't know what was wrong with it. It's actually bafflement. This is a series of lies to hypnotize you. Identical to swinging a watch in your face is what the TV first presented back when the TV started getting big. Somebody swinging a gold watch saying you're getting sleepier and sleepier. The trick is they're lying to you. You are not getting sleepier and sleepier. And that's the trick. It is a bafflement. It is a lie. And as it says in the Bible, your history book, not your holy book, your history book. They both start with an H. That's convenient. Learn real psychology. I just taught it all to you, so play the video again and again. This guy, military puts out Purple Hearts for stuff like this. Trying to think of what else. Government. The psycho doctors. Okay, they only had 2 on me. They didn't need a third one for a tiebreaker on me. And I've never been accused of anything. What they were trying to accuse me of, I was asleep at the time. Just like the guy that was trying to run from the police that fell asleep in the drive-thru. So the police casually murder him? Well, what are you going to do? You're going to be murdered. Yeah, he knew he was running from a murderer. And he was right. You didn't know he was running from a murderer because you were not him. You are 2 different people. And game psychology has no concept of that. You don't know that you are not this person over here. You literally don't know it. And it's gone subconscious so long ago. In other words, you're acting on memory that you need to hear this. Play the video over and over again. You do not know that you're not him. Or her, or him. You don't know it. Think about that. That's a big one to think about. As I say, what they did to Jared Loughner was the same sequence they did to me. 2 so-called people, the risperidone, to destroy his brain. This stuff, 2 years later, I threw a baseball. It went 6 feet and dropped. I threw it as hard as I could. My shoulder was torn out for a year, and I was in prison at that time. You do not heal in jail. I have 1 bougainvillea thorn still there in my hand. I've had thousands of them. They all healed. They all came out. A bougainvillea thorn for productive work to earn what the Phoenix police have. And I sure don't want to earn what they have. They stole my $300,000 house that I had $300,000 equity in the time. I think it's $600,000 now. Sold it to themselves for $95,000. All of it illegal. None of those transactions are legal, and I want to go back on it. And Jared Loughner, you need to hear him on the TV, and what you're going to end up with, he's been in possession. You're not going to hear him, and that's a problem. He is very much tainted by his owner. His identity may be gone. He may be afraid to tell the truth. You need to wonder, what is this Rule 11 trash? I'm not sure. I think it was Tom Hanks involved in this crime to lullaby it into your body. And Rule 11, and they can destroy your right to have a trial and not allow you out of jail, which is also illegal. They can't do that. They did. It was 15 months in jail. Somebody then to sign the plea bargain off to prison. Oh, they did the same thing to me. $1 million judgment to Jared Loughner. Each of the dead people, $1 million judgment. I think it either said $9 million or $19 million on it. $1 million here, $1 million there. 1 million's the same as 19 when you don't have it. They did the same thing identical to me. To steal my inheritance, to steal my other house. I want them both, and I want my inheritance because I've earned all of them. And I don't want to support the Phoenix police. And I want you to get involved. Get Kate if I can think of anything more about Jared Loughner. But that guy is in there illegally. And I'm trying to think, is there anything more on that? They had asked me, why didn't you talk to him more? They wanted to put something similar. I'm going to keep it over here and keep it away from me. But they want him to do the same thing to me as they did to Jared Loughner. Paranoid schizophrenia. They couldn't do that because of the way I answered one question. And they were trying to do trick questions, and oh, here it is. But when you don't look into it, somebody says, yeah, I've got a stalker. There were two of them. I only mentioned one. They knew very well I had a stalker, both of them. They knew both names first and last because organized crime gossips. And so you got a long way to go. Email Kate Gallego, call the intern. Say, hey, we want to know. And why didn't Jared Loughner, wouldn't the people be curious? Wouldn't they want a trial? Wouldn't they want the whole thing televised? This man kills 9 people. Don't you want to know? Think about that. Enjoy. Call Kate Gallego, email or phone her. You'll get the interns, tell them, get to it on Gary York. So, thank you. Enjoy your day or night or whatever it's going to be.